Millions of people have read about a crazy conspiracy theory called Pizzagate, and an untold number of people actually believe it. One person apparently took matters into his own hands and showed up with guns at a pizza place that the conspiracy theorists say is a pedophilia ring owned by Hillary Clinton. No one was injured at the Comet Ping Pong, the Washington restaurant, on Sunday afternoon, but the armed confrontation showed the offline and real-life consequences of online lies. On Monday afternoon, White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest called the incident deeply troubling. I think there's no denying on the corrosive effect that some of these false reports have on the political debate, and that's concerning in the political context, Earnest said. It's deeply troubling that some of those false reports could lead to violence.
On Sunday night, a sinkhole opened up in Texas. 2 people were injured and 1 sheriff was killed in the incident. The sinkhole had opened up on a 2-lane road in southwest Antonio. By the time responders arrived on the scene, the victim's car was 90% submerged. The vehicle was recovered around 1 p.m. that day. The police department is helping the sheriff's family adjust to her death. In Wisconsin, a recount has been requested during the past week. Despite the plan to drop the recount, people will keep pushing. Roughly $7 million was raised towards recount efforts in 3 states. Claims have been raised that Trump won by a 0.2 percentage, or slightly less than 10,000 votes.
The U.S. military this month will be returning more than 9,800 acres of land that is held since World War II to Japan's government this month, Secretary of Defense Ash Carter said Tuesday. The land on the island of Okinawa, part of the territory referred to as the Northern Training Area, is the largest U.S. military base complex on the Pacific Island, more than 960 miles southwest of Tokyo. To facilitate the return, the Japanese government agreed to build 6 helicopter landing zones as well as some access roads to allow U.S. troops to train in the area.
Coming to you live from the storm. It's Christina.
And it's Meredith.
Currently it is 54 degrees and raining.
The high is 55 and the low is 32.
It'll continue to rain throughout the day, but it should get better.
Have a great day, LHS.
See you next time.
Coming to you live. Okay, go.
I'm singing in the rain. Yes, singing in the rain.
Please tell me you got that.
Hey, what's up, LHS? It's Dylan here with your sports. Last night, Colts defeat the New York Jets 41-10. For the Jets, it's not looking so good after last night's loss. They're 3-9, but the Jets are trying something new, starting Bryce Petty over Ryan Fitzpatrick for the last 4 games of the season. Sunday, the New England Patriots beat the Rams. This victory led to Tom Brady's 201st win. This made Brady the winningest quarterback in football. Now for some college football news. Something for Purdue fans to be excited about, for they have just hired Jeff Brom for next season. Brom has a big task ahead as Purdue has only won 2 Big Ten games since 2012. Now for some NBA news. Last night, Klay Thompson had 60 points in 29 minutes. He played to lead the Warriors a big victory over the Pacers. The score was 142-106, and that's all for Sports LHS.
Hi, I'm Zach Patton,
And I'm Jacob Andrews.
and this is your college football previews. We got some bowl games coming up. We've got Vanderbilt taking on North Carolina State in the Independence Bowl. Jacob, who you got?
Definitely going to have to take the SEC in this one. Vanderbilt's going to run away with this. Who do you got, Zach?
Definitely. Vanderbilt's showed pretty good strength against Tennessee. I'm going to have to take Vanderbilt. Now we've got Tennessee taking on Nebraska here in Nashville for the Music City Bowl. Jacob, who you got in that one?
Definitely going to take Tennessee in this one. I feel like they're going to pull one out for good old Butch.
Definitely. Volunteers are going to get redemption, I think, against Nebraska. Now to the Rose Bowl. You've got Penn State taking on the University of Southern California Trojans. Who you got in that game?
After watching Penn State last week, I just saw such an explosive offense, and I just don't think USC is going to be able to hold up to that.
Yep, I think James Franklin and Penn State's going to get it done. Now to the college top four. We got Alabama taking on Washington. I think Alabama's just going to roll right over them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Washington doesn't stand a chance. Alabama's just going to – it's basically a bye week for them. They're going to make it into the national championship.
Now we've got Ohio State and Clemson. Who you got?
I feel like Clemson, this is definitely going to be a good game, better than the national championship itself. Clemson's going to take on Ohio State, and they're going to beat them at the end of the day.
So I think we both agree we've got Alabama and Clemson going to the national championship. Who you got?
Alabama. I can easily see a 14-point spread in this game, and Alabama's going to be a 2-time in a row national champions.
And definitely, I think it's going to be a close game at the first half, but Alabama should start pulling away sometime during the second. So that's all for this college football preview. We'll see you later.
Hey LHS, it's Christina, and I'm here with Bria Robbins, and I'm here to bring you a Blue Devil News exclusive from the state championship high school football games that happened this past weekend.
I'll start off with the Thursday games. These were both the Division II games. The first game being played was the Class A game. This was played against Lausanne and Knoxville Webb. It was a very close game, but in the end, Lausanne won 12-9. Next was the Class 2A game played against Brentwood Academy and NBA. Brentwood Academy won 42-38. It was a pretty close game. So then on Friday, Division I games began. Starting with Class A, Dresden played Greenback, and Dresden pretty much stomped Greenback 62-27. Next was the Class 3A game, which was a very good game. It was Alcoa versus Liberty Magnet, and I think we all know who won that game.
But in case you didn't know, Alcoa came out on top 45-12.
So late on Friday was the Class 5A game, and it was played against Knoxville Farragut versus Independence, and this was an awesome game. Farragut came back and won in the end 45-35. On Saturday, starting with the Class 2A game, it was Trezevant versus Marion County, and Trezevant won 42-20. After that was the Class 4A game. This was played against Memphis East and Knox Central. Memphis East won pretty big, 27-3. The last game on Saturday was the Division I Class 6A game, which, for those of you who didn't know, that's the
division that Lebanon plays in.
And the teams that played were Whitehaven and Oakland. I'm pretty sure that Oakland was predicted to win that game, but Whitehaven actually won 12-9.
And just a little side note about that, Whitehaven is the game that Lebanon played in the first round of playoffs. So the state champion ended up beating us in the first round. So, Bria, what game do you think stood out the most?
I would have to say the Class 3A game. I would say the Class 5A game. Sorry about that. That was the Knox Farragut Independence game. At halftime, the score was 35-7 Independence, and I think pretty much everyone in the place thought the game was over. Everyone in the stands started leaving around halftime, and in the end, Knox Farragut came back and won. They won 45-35, so Independence never scored again in the second half, and it was just a great effort by Farragut. It was by far the best game and the most talked about game.
Well, that's all we have for today. Have a good day, LHS.